Now, we also discussed last week that, I'm not putting words in your mouth, I hope, but that you thought that the McCourts didn't get the respect that they deserve to get.
They don't. I think it's a disgrace how Limerick has treated them. A perfect illustration of that. Malachy went back about 3 or 4 years ago. Now you got to realize Angelus Ashes started out as a play, a couple of blackguards. The book comes out, the movie comes out. Now there's a musical, right? So
Yeah.
it's historical literature about Ireland. So Malachy flies over there, big brouhaha, big theater in Limerick, and I think the Limerick Leader or one of the Limerick papers says uh, Angelus Ashes, the musical, based on the controversial book by Frank McCourt. Nowhere in the world would you ever get a headline like that. It would
Yeah.
be based on the Pulitzer Prize winning, based on the award winning, based on a million bestseller, Angelus Ashes. So this is the way they're treated. Now, I've been all over Ireland, and when I go to Derry, you go there. You want to be at the Free Derry Wall. Get a picture. Right now, it's the Derry girls. You want your picture not far away. You get a picture there. When I'm in Ballyshannon, there's a statue of Rory Gallagher. You're in Dublin, there's James Joyce. Every city in Ireland has a wall mural or a statue in tribute to their literary geniuses. In Limerick, there's nothing. There's no Angelus Ashes Way. There's no wall mural where people coming through Limerick that they could take a picture in front of. They're not honored in the way Dublin and every other city in Ireland honors their people, like particularly Brendan Behan. You know, what are you going to say? Oh, well, Brendan drank a lot, so we shouldn't put up a mural or a statue to him. Whereas in Limerick, Frank wrote about his life in the 1930s Limerick. That
Mm.
was his life. And people still get pissed off today, particularly the way his mother was treated in the book or whatever. But that was Frank's life. And I've talked to Malachy about that. And Malachy says Frank would not have written the book until his mother died. And then he wrote Angelus Ashes afterwards. And then when I talk to people from Limerick, they're still, oh, look at the way he portrayed Limerick and everything. What did James Joyce portray Dublin in this upbeat way? You know, with everybody banging each other and everything down in Dublin. I mean, come on.
Mm.
You know, so I always feel he's never got treated with the respect. He's never got like the medal to the city or any honors really from Limerick. You know what he did get? Malachy never graduated from school there. He got a certificate from one of the education ministers to say, here's your certificate for graduating school. I mean, BS stuff. I mean, he should be honored over there. And now it's too late. It really is. It's literally too late to do it. But Angelus Ashes should be embraced there. It is, if you watch this show here called Jeopardy, right? I don't know if you ever heard of it. It constantly pops up as a question on Jeopardy. What brothers wrote Angelus Ashes? The McCourt brothers. Like, it's part of our cultural zeitgeist here in America. It's
Yeah.
on all these top television shows. There'll be a mention, offhanded mention about Angelus Ashes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but over there, I mean, I read one reviewer from Limerick. He went back and looked up the weather forecast during the time frame Frank was growing up, and he actually said it didn't rain as much as he did in the book. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this is the bullshit that you know that did anybody go to James Joyce when he wrote about what 1911 in Dublin? You know, well that day he mentioned on Bloomsday, it really wasn't sunny. I went back and looked at the satellite photos, and it says it was raining that day. This
But
is how hated they are over there
yeah. Yeah. And and even Malachy's book, Amongst Women.
amongst women.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that would stand alone on its own.
he
Um,
sold millions of copies of that
yeah.
that
And
book. I mean, he was number one in Australia with that book.
so, John, do you think? I know you're aware of at the time Angela Ashes was on. Um, Frank was on the Late Late Show, and
Right.
there was a guy in the audience, Jerry Hannon, who seemed to be very bitter or very anti McCourt. And like that's a famous clip. Do you think that had a big influence on the the way Angela's was portrayed, or did it put a kind
of? First of all, doing an interview on the Late Late Show should have no effect on the book itself. Now, that guy you're talking about, he actually had a radio show in Limerick, and he made his life's mission to condemn Angela's ashes. And Malachy met him when he was over for the musical and apologized to him and said that he had a drinking problem and stuff like that. And he was making a living off it, and he would never do it again. And that's why you don't hear anything about that anymore.
Yeah. It does seem a shame. And especially as you say, that Malachy, is 93 now. So,
right.
Maybe it'll posthumously change, but that's too little, too late.
Yeah, it is. They had the chance. What do you get over here? They give Key to the City. I know they can make him an honorary Limerick man or something like that. They could have done that and particularly to Frank. I mean, Frank wrote the book that like every college here in the States, that's almost required reading for memoirs and stuff like that. And, people from different countries identify with the poverty of Limerick at that time. And that wasn't unique to Limerick. Dublin had plenty of poverty. Belfast.
Yeah, absolutely.
But people think, oh, you shouldn't, keep those skeletons in the closet. You don't want to reveal those secrets and everything. I think you got to be kidding me, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got that off my chest anyway.